Man vandalized LGBTQ Pride street mural in South Florida. A Clearwater man was arrested for vandalizing an LGBTQ plus Pride street mural at a Delray Beach intersection, police said. So yeah, this was a thing that happened a few days ago. Supposedly, somebody had decided to do a burnout on a LGBTQIABC plus whatever they've got going on now mural that they've put in the middle of the intersection in South Florida. Now, funny enough, this actually is not the first time that this exact mural has been vandalized before, believe it or not. And of course, I'm using extremely heavy air quotes when I say the word vandalize. But yes, there's this story from 2021. Florida man won't face hate crime charges for vandalizing pride flag crosswalk. It is in fact the exact same one. This was back in 2021. Even back then, people didn't tolerate this shit. A Clearwater man was arrested for vandalizing an LGBTQ Pride Street mural at a Delray Beach intersection, authorities said. Dylan Brewer, 19, was arrested and charged with felony criminal mischief over $1,000 and reckless driving, according to a City of Delray Beach news release. Yeah, I'm not even kidding. This dude got charged with a fucking felony. Here's my question. If you don't want people to drive on your mural, why did you put the mural in the middle of the fucking road? And not only in the middle of the road, you put it in an intersection that's probably blocking traffic arrows, ways you're supposed to go. I mean, it's probably a hazard to other drivers. And look, I get it. When you do a burnout and you leave rubber behind, it is technically vandalism. It's technically correct, the best kind of correct. But if he had literally done this like a block over, nobody would have given a shit. Nobody would have cared. Nobody would have noticed. It would just have been another guy just doing a burnout somewhere. But because it happened to be here on this mural, which, I mean, you can even see in the video that several other people have done this too. It's clearly not popular. Nobody really likes this mural being here, and it's defaced regularly. It baffles me that this is something that somebody would not only get criminally charged for, and if you get like a civil fine or whatever because you're disturbing the peace and leaving behind a mark, then sure, whatever. But a fucking felony? Really? A felony for doing a burnout because it happened to be on top of your fucking gay pride mural? Seriously? Now, of course, the actual reason this guy is being targeted so hard by the law right now is because this symbol, this LGBTQIAB, just whatever the hell they're using nowadays, the reason why he's being targeted so hard is because this is the cult symbol. This is not just some guy who did a burnout on a road. This is somebody who defaced a cult symbol that, we're currently in control. You're being conquested by a cult ideology, which is what's happening right now. And this just happens to be one of their symbols. So of course, the established cult is going to go after this guy with every resource possible, which is exactly what we see. They attempted to do that with the last person, and they've attempted to do that with another mural that was posted in Fort Lauderdale. This is not new. Nobody likes this, but they get punished because a cult is in power. You see, this flag, this progressive pride flag, I see this no different than the Nazi swastika. The meaning, the original meaning, what it was supposed to mean, has been bastardized and destroyed. It doesn't mean what it was supposed to mean anymore. It's now a symbol of hate, because if you so much as criticize it, you're immediately crucified by the power that be. And it's insanity. You can't even so much as criticize it, otherwise you will be relentlessly attacked. It is effectively the same as the swastika. Don't dare go against the Nazi party or you will be punished. It's the same thing. On the evening of February 4th, witness told Delray Beach police that Brewer intentionally performed multiple burnouts with his vehicle over the Rainbow Pride crosswalk at the intersection of Northeast 1st Street and Northeast 2nd Avenue. Law enforcement, which investigated for more than a week, received multiple reports about Brewer's actions. Several recorded the crime on their cell phones. So yeah, apparently the police were trying to investigate this situation for more than a week. And yet, despite that, there's a story from the same town, Daytona Beach. Gun-wielding man sought in robbery of Daytona Beach convenience store. As far as I know, I couldn't find anything on this. This guy is still at large. So what I want to know is, why is it worth investigating this for more than a week, but once there's something like, I don't know, a fucking robbery, it just goes unchecked? And this isn't a new story either. This is from last year, only like 4 or 5 months ago. And yeah, people were actually willing to call the police to report this guy for doing a burnout on the road. Most people generally don't care. And granted, if you're doing like burnouts in a residential neighborhood, eventually someone's gonna call in the police for a noise complaint. But there were unironically people calling this guy in. I guess they're reporting a hate crime? What are they even saying? Just, oh, he revved his engine a little too hard and skidded a little bit. Seriously? And these people immediately assigned motive, saying that he intentionally meant to do that. He could just as easily go to the courts and say, Your Honor, I'm sorry. When I was taken off from the light, I forgot I had my e-brake on. I had my e-brake on because I, wanted to keep the car still. And when I took off, I forgot to take it off, and my ass end slid out and it kind of left a mark. And, Your Honor, it was an accident. I'm sorry. I will be happy to clean it up for you. And he could just get away with this whole situation. It can so easily just say, I didn't mean to do it. And then how are you going to prove motive? The truth is, you can't prove motive because all these people are going to do is assume you did it on purpose because you're hateful. They're not going to give you the benefit of the doubt because, again, these are cultists. These are cult leaders. These are the people who enforce the cult's will. You will be punished by accordance with the cult's law. And so even if he had the perfectly reasonable explanation, or hell, even if he really did not mean to do a skid, he would still be punished because it just happened to be on the cult symbol. So unfortunately, no matter what this guy does, he's fucked because he has to be made an example of. I so hope this guy gets the best legal defense possible and gets released with no charges. This is insanity. This caused significant damage to the streetscape painting, which serves as a symbol of unity and inclusivity for the LGBTQ community, the city said. Funny you should mention that. I am LGBT. I'm the G. And I fucking hate this crosswalk. I mean, think about it like this. You're essentially saying that I'm so oppressed, I have to plaster my identity all over the road to force everyone to accept me? No, not everyone's gonna like everyone else. And if people don't like gays or trans or lesbian, whatever, that's fine. It doesn't really affect me. And in fact, you could even say the opposite. You could even say that by placing this mural in the middle of the road where people walk and drive, you're defacing the idea of the LGBT by having people walk all over it. They're putting their tires on it, they're driving over it, they're walking on it. You're essentially putting it beneath your feet, saying, here's this idea, now just stomp all over it. Of course, that's not what I believe. I know what this is trying to do, and it's something I don't like. But if you want to get pedantic about it, yeah, you could take that angle, and it's just as valid as what they're supposedly claiming that it supports. Both are equally retarded, granted, but both are equally as valid as each other. Brewer turned himself in at the Delray Beach Police Department headquarters Monday morning. He didn't provide a statement to police, and he was taken to the Palm Beach County Jail. I gotta give this guy some criticism. I honestly do. Why the fuck did you turn yourself into police? You knew what was gonna happen. You knew they were gonna try to charge you with something that's bullshit. Why would you do that? The reason Antifa and Black Lives Matter and the far leftist protesters, the reason they don't go to police whenever violence occurs is because they know it's going to result in someone being arrested. They don't talk to police because that's the best tactic. Why would you turn yourself in? If you didn't, you might have never been identified and you wouldn't be getting charged with a felony. Again, just to remind you, all this guy did was a burnout in the wrong place. He didn't kill someone, he didn't steal from a store, he didn't mug someone or murder anyone, he didn't do any of that, he just did a burnout. Most people would have likely forgotten entirely if he hadn't bothered turning himself in. I don't know if his intentions were noble or trying to take responsibility, I don't know what it was. All I know is he shouldn't have turned himself in. He knew what was going to happen to him, and he did it anyway. This is nobody's fault but his for turning himself in. However, it is still the judge's fault for even having the gall to propose a felony. So yeah, it's unfortunate what's happening to this guy, and I sincerely hope that he gets the best lawyer and the best support possible to counteract this bullshit. He doesn't deserve to have his life ruined, to have his gun rights taken away, to have his travel restrictions put on him. He doesn't deserve any of that just for doing a fucking burnout. Now, I know this isn't my usual type of content, but I have a lot to say when it comes to politics, so you're probably going to see a lot more of these videos, especially if this is something that you guys like or want to see expanded more. I'm more than happy to do a lot more of them. I'll just have to find more articles. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you later.